Welcome to a Saturday in New York City. It's April. It's the best time of the year because the NBA playoffs are underway. And here tonight, we're at a building called the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, host of Game 1 of perhaps the most compelling first-round matchup of these playoffs, and a matchup with two of the craziest and loyal fan bases in basketball. Playoffs presented by Google Pixel between the Knicks and the Sixers, and our first round is presented by ESPN Bet. Joel Embiid is back after missing so many games with knee surgery, but there are now high hopes once again in Philadelphia. And Jalen Brunson, a spectacular season, and there are certainly high hopes in New York City. And good evening, everyone, with J.J. Redick and Doris Burke. Mike Breen on hand, Lisa Salters with us as well. It's been 35 years since these two teams met in the playoffs. We think it's going to be worth the wait. This has a chance to be an amazing series. And part of that, Doris, because each team has a very special player that are very different in terms of their size, but in terms of impact winning, it's pretty darn close.
Let's start with the big guy, Joel Embiid. 7 foot, 280 pounds of nothing but devastating basketball skill, but this is only his 7th game back from that knee surgery, and he's not 100%. For Jalen Brunson, every adversity thrown to the Knicks' path, he has just raised his level. He's a top 5 MVP candidate in my estimation, JJ, but for you, you're looking beyond the stars tonight.
Well, think about how Philadelphia got here and secured the 7th seed. It was Buddy Hield and Nicholas Batum leading the comeback in that second half on Wednesday night. And for the New York Knicks, they've had a number of role players have career years. It ultimately could be those guys that end up deciding the series.
Both of them have overcome significant injuries to get where they are. Knicks the 2 seed and the 76ers the 7th seed. Starting lineups brought to you by Modelo. And the Sixers are whole almost once again, but they've got Maxey and Lowry acquired midseason. Kelly Oubre and Tobias Harris, huge roles for this team now. And of course, the big man, the 3 Villanova Wildcats, Brunson, DiVincenzo, and Hart. OG Anunoby has been the perfect fit, and Isaiah Hartenstein, so important for these Knickerbockers. First, and free throws for the Sixers. Great start for the road team. Sixers up 10, 5 minutes in.
NBA First Round is presented by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN, and in part by Burger King.
Timeout's been called. The challenge running on the floor.
NBA Game 1's at 1 Eastern. Heat and Celtics, then 3:30 Mavericks and the Clippers. Well, today's officials: crew chief Scott Foster, referee Brian Forte, umpire Sean Corbin, and alternate John Butler. Yet a strong first quarter for the 76ers. They shoot 55%. Embiid has 15 after 1 here in Game 1. Sixers up 9.
And hopefully I get to talk about this more on the other side. But Tyrese Maxey, as he so often does, getting into the paint, using his speed and touch to get a bucket. Sixers up 4.
Tonight's unforgettable moment brought to you by Uber Eats. DB.
So a season ago, Joel Embiid was the MVP. He was off to an even better start. 35 points per game he was averaging, over 11 free throws. His jumper is pure. His post game is devastating. He can put it on the deck and attack size and multiple defenders. He was on pace, Mike, to win his 3rd scoring title before that knee injury.
And a timeout call by Nick Nurse, and the Garden explodes here in the second quarter.
Mike, many people thought Miles McBride was unplayable on the offensive end. He's undersized. He's a gritty, determined defender. But Tom Thibodeau kept telling people he's a better shooter than you think. Side step, 1 dribble. That's good. My goodness, Miles.
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel. First round presented by ESPN Bet. An electric atmosphere as expected here at Madison Square Garden for Game 1 of this best of 7 series. And here in attendance, Nick Royalty. And the second quarter comes to an end. What a dominant second quarter as the Knicks outscore the Sixers 33-12. But right now, the number one story is the health of Joel Embiid. Off a dunk, went down in a heap, and immediately grabbed his surgically repaired knee. A spectacular play from this giant, but clearly in some pain. Went back to the locker room after laying on the court for a while. And we hope to have an update shortly. 2 quarters complete here in game 1. Knicks up a dozen.
NBA First Round, presented by ESPN Bet, is brought to you by Google.
Tonight in New York City, game 1 of this opening round playoff series. Our first half stats brought to you by New Balance. Sixers went up by 13. Knicks stormed back in the second quarter. Neither team shooting 40%. The Knicks turn it around in the second. Of course, the key stat is all about Joel Embiid after hurting his knee in that first half and having to go back to the locker room. And we welcome you back courtside here at Madison Square Garden with J.J. Redick and Doris Burke, Mike Breen on hand. We'll check in with Lisa in a moment. Obviously, the number one story, we still don't know anything about it in terms of Joel Embiid. We did see he's come out of the locker room. He's over on the bench right now. So hopefully he's going to be able to return. In terms of the basketball, what a performance from the Knicks bench in that first half, JJ.
What a spark in that second quarter from Bogdanovich, McBride, and Mitchell Robinson. Just a huge lift off the bench. Bogdanovich on this one knocks it down. Mitchell Robinson on both ends of the floor. Offensive rebounding, creating a second opportunity. McBride hit 4 of those. And then defensively, the brilliant play from Robinson, the block.
Connects Kyle Lowry from downtown. His third three-pointer. Lowry's got 9 of his 12 already here in the third, and Tom Thibodeau calls timeout. An excellent answer from the Sixers.
Yeah, showing some toughness right now, the Philadelphia 76ers. Some little mishandle. Josh gets caught out of position. Maxey attacks that. Dribble handoff. You see a ton of that to the opposite side of the floor. OG chasing, but Kyle too good.
NBA First Round, presented by ESPN Bet.
Game 1s from the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN. 12:30 Lightning and Panthers at 3 Capitals. Visit the Rangers at 7 on ESPN 2. Avalanche and the Jets, and finish the night on ESPN Predators and Canucks. Here at Madison Square Garden, NBA action tonight. The retired numbers of the Knicks greats. Of course, the Knicks, the 2 champions. It's been a long time since the Knicks won a championship, 1973. That man was a member of it. And he was recently saying this team, the chemistry and their connection reminds him of those Knicks championship teams. Third quarter here. And timeout called by Tom Thibodeau. Sixers right back within 3.
Tyrese Maxey does this better than anyone in the NBA. The right hand, right foot finish. No one's made more this season than him. And then for the second time this quarter, the drive away to the ridiculous reverse layup.
By T-Mobile, Doris.
Can we remember that Tyrese Maxey is manning the position full-time for the first time? How skilled is this guy? The most prolific 2-man tandem, Maxey and Embiid. So, okay, I got to contend with that. Let me back dribble. Mr. Hartenstein, you're not only going to guard from 18, I'm going to pull you out to 20, and you're going to guard in space.
Coming up tonight on ABC, 8:30 Eastern, Game 1, Lakers and the Nuggets from Denver. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets trying to win back-to-back NBA titles. They'll face the team that they're able to sweep in that. Was able to make a bucket out of it. Lowry, as we called him earlier, he's a bulldog. Say that with nothing but endearment. And Brunson looks like he's got a chance to get a layup. The quick hands, the quick strip. The end didn't work out, but still doing it at age 38. And he goes crashing into one of our cameramen who's shaken up on the play. Bogdanovich checking to make sure he's okay, as he lost balance and caromed right into him. So we'll take a break as the third quarter comes to an end. Sixers outscore the Knicks 36-21 here in the third. Two, early fourth.
NBA First Round is presented by ESPN Bet, the official.
Tonight's star matchup brought to you by Modelo. One of them is the reigning MVP. The other is an MVP candidate. It hasn't been an easy night for either one. Embiid hurt his knee, had to go back to the locker room. Jalen Brunson has had a couple of good stretches, but has not shot the ball well, just 7 of 24. Meanwhile, the Knicks sold out Madison Square Garden. They call it the Mecca. They call it the world's most famous arena. It's been alive tonight, and the celebrities always here. Jason Bateman sitting courtside. Tracy Morgan has not missed many games this year. He's here all the time, as is longtime season ticket holder Spike Lee. And Matthew Modine is here. He was back here when the Patrick Ewing Knicks went to the finals. And also always here, the great Steve Sharippa. And Rev Run sitting courtside. You know, we've got 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. Anunoby a three. Bang! OG Anunoby from downtown. Timeout, Philadelphia. A 7-point lead with 1:28 remaining.
Jalen Brunson drives away from pick and rolls more than any other player in the NBA. That cut from Mitchell Robinson creates confusion on the backside. OG Anunoby
At 4, Hart fakes. Hart tries another three-pointer. Oh, it's good! Knocks down another! Seven-point lead under a minute to play. Lisa, he played the entire second half, did not sit in the third and fourth quarters, played 42 more minutes. He has led the NBA in minutes per game since the All-Star break and comes up huge to help the Knicks take game one of this best-of-7 series. And the good news for the Sixers, though, of course, is Joel Embiid able to come back from what looked like was re-injuring that surgically repaired knee. And Embiid had 29 points. 33 for Maxey. So Cleveland wins at home. The Knicks win at home. Milwaukee and Boston will both play tomorrow and try and win at home in the Eastern Conference playoffs. So coming up later tonight, Lakers and Nuggets on ABC. That game is underway. SEC football next on ESPN. For our producer, Tim Corrigan, director Mike Schwab, for Doris, JJ, and Lisa, and our entire ESPN crew, Mike Breen saying good night from New York. A terrific start to this series, a terrific start to the NBA playoffs. Good night, everyone.